Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Real Talk with Alexander, the podcast about a little bit of everything. I just want to point out to everybody here on my YouTube Studio app, we did get 173 views on that last video. I know it was a little bit long, 2.5 hours. It was a good talk. I mean, once you get talking, it just goes and goes. So I appreciate that. Leave any comments, anything you want to see changed. I know there's a problem with the sound being very low. I think I figured out how to fix that now. I'm learning as I go here. But, yeah, we'll get into it here with our guest today is Thomas Lattimer, and we're just going to be chatting about a few different things going on in the world. Before we get started, I just want to say I probably do have a lot in common with him, but the goal of this podcast is not to create an echo chamber. It's just to have discussions about everyone, and anyone is welcome to come on, and I'm not going to try to fight you and do a gotcha. It's just explaining your side and where you're coming from. But, yeah, man, if you want to give us a little bit about yourself.
Hey, guys. Tom, I'm actually Alex's cousin. He asked me to be on here. I figured this would be a good time. I'm pretty much like Alex. I like to talk about anything and everything, so this ought to be a good time.
Yes, sir. Now, man, with everything going on nowadays, I know with inflation and stuff, you have 6 kids now? 5?
I got 6 kids.
6 kids. How is that at the grocery store?
You don't want to see my bill. It really all depends. We end up making a lot of trips to the grocery store because, my house with so many kids, I call it organized chaos. And they range from all ages. I got from teenager right down to infant. So going to the grocery store, my bill is anywhere from $600 to $1,100. To be honest with you, it's insane. But more than likely, most times, we'll go to the grocery store, get home, be like, oh,
forgot this.
I forgot this and I forgot that. And I'm pretty sure we hit Walmart every day. It's
How about them self-checkout lanes?
I do like them. Usually when we're going in on the every day, we only need like 3 or 4 things.
Right.
So it's in and out. But other than that, we go to Aldi's, or not Aldi's, Sam's Club.
Yep.
You got a family the size of mine, you need a lot of food.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so.
Luckily, obviously it's just me and Brittany, and 2 dogs, but it doesn't really cost us that much, but you definitely notice it. It wasn't immediate. Everything just slowly went up, but you can definitely tell you go to the store. I don't think I've been in Walmart in the last few months. I haven't spent $80 no matter what I buy.
$100, I guarantee $100 every trip.
Yeah.
And what me and my wife were just talking about the other day, we went and grabbed, because we buy the bottled water, because we live out of town. And it went up $2.
Yeah.
$2. Mind you, $3 for a 40-pack of water that's pretty cheap.
Yeah. Then
we went one day and she's like, that went up $2. It's $5 now. I'm like, no warning, just one day to the next.
Well, that's the thing. I think, we both work in the oil field. We make decent money, and our wives both make decent money as well. And we might not notice it as much as the average person, but we know how much that must hurt people. Because I know, like, my mom, she has trouble making ends meet as it is. She's on disability and still works part-time, but, it all adds up. And we might be fortunate, but we also know the other side of that coin.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and I see it. Like, my mom's the same way. She struggles to make ends meet. Not all the time, it depends. There's times she'll get everything figured out. She won't have to work for a couple months, and then she's like paycheck to paycheck again.
Yeah.
And that's how life goes.
And speaking of working in the oil field, you're Date what? 1 on, 1 off, or 2 on, 2 off?
No, I'm 7 on, 7 off.
Oh, that's not bad.
No, I work night shift, so I work 6 to 6 every other week.
Okay. Are you still local then?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's my every other night I switch. I work east of the river one night, west of the river the next night.
Okay.
And because there's 2 of us on at night, so we alternate.
Just whatever happens, you guys get called out.
Yep.
I've never really been into the pumper side of things. I've installed GPUs and stuff like that, but now I'm obviously a pipeline technician and I do measurement and all that fun stuff. Just like back when I used to work at 5 Star, we used to screw all your guys' stuff up.
Yeah.
But you know,
Well, I mean, a night shift is it's good. I see a lot different stuff. It's a lot more mellow.
yeah,
It's way more mellow. I only deal with our call out guy and the other guy I'm working with. So I only deal with 2 people, which is sweet.
yeah,
And then, I can put 300 miles on my truck in one night with no problem.
that's. I think a lot of people don't understand it. I know a lot of people say, "Oh, you just sit in your truck." It's horrible to just sit in a truck.
God, it sucks.
Horrible.
It sucks so bad, and it's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You're just sitting there driving. I mean, I don't mind driving,
Yeah.
but like on my days off, my wife's like, "Hey, let's go to Syracuse." I'm like, "Babe, I did a full week of driving. I don't want to drive to Syracuse."
Yeah.
And it is what it is.
It's. I just. Yeah, we get paid for it, but man, it sucks. And then you're eating like crap, and
Oh yeah.
man,
I try to eat good. I try to meal prep, but that doesn't always.
Yeah.
You come up with a plan, you make your meals. Some days you forget them.
Yep.
Some days you take too much. You always end up hitting the store at least once a night.
Yep.
It's a guarantee.
The wife used to make me lunch, and then I forget it, and now she won't even bother. So, I mean, I did that one to myself, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Usually, I just don't eat till I get home because I work days, but that's probably not very good for me either.
No, well, I try that too. I call it fasting. I'll get up, I'll eat my breakfast, then I'll eat dinner before I go to work, and then I usually take my meal prep, but half the time I don't eat it.
Yeah.
But then I'll slip in a Slim Jim.
Yeah. Yep.
It's the
So-
ups and downs.
So you guys are drilling and fracking again pretty decently, or?
Yeah. Actually, I just went to a meeting the other day, and they're gonna cut back. They're gonna cut back one of our drilling rigs and cut back one of our fracking rigs, just to slow down. I mean,
Yeah.
we just broke a record of 3.6 BCF of gas the other day.
That's insane.
That's a lot of gas, man.
Yeah.
If we're having a problem with the pipeline, we have no place to put it.
Yep. Pressures were up all over the
Yeah,
field.
you're not joking. It's insane the amount of gas that's coming out of the ground here, and it's good, clean, ready to burn.
Yeah, and like Troy said on the last one we had here, he's an electrician, but he used to work at 5 Star with me, and he said, up here we have lots of clean natural gas, so we can use it here where solar panels don't work that well. I'm sure you have to call out your measurement techs to change out all the time.
Batteries, nonstop, constantly, especially at nighttime. We'll run into that.
Yeah.
The whole pad will shut in. We'll be like, "What's going on?"
Yeah.
And come to find out, the batteries are dead
Yeah,
off either a solar panel or one of our thermal gens.
yeah,
That batteries, it's a good clean idea, but it's not bulletproof.
exactly. And up here, it just really doesn't work like it needs to work to just jump into it like everyone wants to right now. I don't think anyone really looks into that. Like, the politicians are in Washington, D.C., even though they're from here, they don't really think about it.
As soon as they get into office, their head goes,
Yeah.
they lose all connection.
I know a couple people, and they're like, oh, I want to be, I want to run for Senate or House. Like, it's good, but it's so easy. Everyone gets corrupted so quick.
Yep.
You know, money does crazy things to people.
You're not joking.
And it's just hard to believe some of the stuff that's going on nowadays. And, you know, they're trying to push this green energy and recycling and stuff, but you can't recycle those windmills. They just bury them.
You're right.
And the solar panels aren't recyclable. And I know they're making strides towards it, but they need to just step off and actually think about a plan before they just say, oh, we're going to be carbon neutral by 2050. You know what kind of work that's going to take?
There's no way.
No.
It's not possible. It's and not only that, they're fighting a pretend battle. I mean, when it really comes down to it, I don't, I'm not most educated on it.
Yeah.
But the Earth has been around for a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of, CO2 or carbon monoxide's been around for a long time. It's all these things that they're doing to make it greener. I mean, it all works itself out. That's what our atmosphere is here for.
Right.
It's a filter. Our trees are filters. It's not like it's gonna kill us overnight.
Right.
And we're not. I don't know. The way they've done emissions on everything these days, how is that not combating it enough?
Those diesel tuners that are doing the DEF systems and getting $1 million fines and stuff, and I can understand it to the point. I mean, I just have an eco diesel, but it's got the DEF system on it. I'm not going to delete it because it's just eco diesel. There's really no point.
Right.
But, like, at the same time, that system really hurts the truck more than it helps.
They really do. Yeah. They rob all your power.
Yeah. And they clog up, and then, you're getting rid of that truck sooner because it doesn't run right. And that's the biggest thing. Don't go out and buy an electric car. Just drive the car you have for longer.
You're right.
And they just jump over all these little things people could be doing, and they're just like, we need to do this now and get rid of everything. And, shutting down pipelines. I mean, I might be partial because I work for pipeline companies, but at the same time, you can destroy the economy. I mean, look what happened to
right.
oil prices and gas prices now.
Yeah, and it's only been how long? What, a little over a year?
Yeah.
And our prices have changed how much?
Yeah.
$3, $2?
I like their chart they put up, and it zoomed way in, so it's only like 0.2 of a cent and went down. They're like, oh my God, gas prices are going down. We're so excited. Like, no. Yeah, I'm sure you don't see the gas bill for your private jet.
Yeah, right.
But it's super expensive. I know that.
Yeah, it's crazy. We recently bought an SUV, and we bought it before the gas prices started spiking.
Kind of regret that now.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, my sister just bought a truck. They already had Tahoe, and I was like, why would you guys buy a truck? Because, that's a lot of gas you do all in town driving. You're wasting a lot of money. But she wanted it. She's always wanted a truck. And I was like, all right, just make sure you buy a decent one.
Oh, yeah. Now I remember.
Yeah.
Oh, she just bought that white one.
Yep. And she's already messaging me, well, this just happened. What should I do? And I'm like, well, I'm not a mechanic. I'll help you as much as I can. But by all means, I just don't understand. People are already having problems with money and stuff, and then they go out and spend way too much money on stuff they really don't need. But yeah.
I'm awful at doing that.
I was going to say, when I got this job, I mean, I started making decent money, and I was like, all right, I want a car. So I went and bought a fast sports car. Loved it. And then I was like, well, I need a winter car. I can't drive this rear-wheel drive car in the winter. So I went and bought an Audi. And I bought a brand new truck. And I'm like, I never thought I'd own a brand new car, honestly. And then I bought it. And I'm like, all right, I got to start getting rid of cars now. I live in town. I can't do this.
Yeah. Yeah, you're pretty packed around here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got your truck. Is it the Jeep hers?
Yep, the Jeep's hers.
Then you got your camper out there.
Yeah.
Then you got your work truck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. We,
as soon as you get rid of one thing, you buy another thing to replace it.
Yeah, I had an older Chevy. The rear end cracked in it. Well, it actually, the differential cover split one day. I was towing my boat up to the lake.
Ooh.
Yeah. And I look my boat's covered in oil. I'm like, oh, what the heck's going on? So I went and I look under there, and my differential cover had cracked. And all my differential fluid was all over my boat.
Oh, man.
I'm like, so luckily I had tools with me.
Yeah.
I took the bolt out. I put more fluid back in it. Come right back home. I drove back home. I'm like, well, if it made it there, it'll make it back. Got a new cover, put it on there. About 3 weeks later, I was driving the truck again, and then it started leaking rear end fluid out of the side,
Out of
like
the seals
out of
there.
the axle.
Yeah, out of the axle seals.
At that point, I mean, it's a 2004 truck.
Yeah.
It's a Chevy 1500. I'm like, I got to get a new truck. So I bought a new truck. Not a brand new truck. I forget that.
Yeah.
And then, like 2 months later, we're like, well, we need a bigger vehicle. So we go and buy an Escalade. Who needs a fucking Escalade? Pardon my language.
Well, yeah.
But who needs an Escalade? Yes, they are nice, but everything's electronic.
Yeah.
So, right after we got it, I mean, of course we bought it used, but right after we got it, the whole dash just shut down and the car died. Like, my wife's driving, she's like, I can't go anywhere, I'm stuck. I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
A good thing, it was still under warranty from the place we bought it from, so they ended up coming and getting it and fixing it, and we haven't had that problem again.
Yeah.
But, God, that's like, I can't fix that. Why did I buy something this expensive that I cannot fix? And I'm pretty handy. I could fix pretty much anything.
Yeah.
And I'm not afraid to jump into something that I don't know how to fix. We got everything. We got YouTube. You got books. You can figure something out if you have a little bit of know-how.
Yeah.
But that thing, it scares me.
That's the exact same thing I was thinking about these cars. I'm like, oh, well, now if something goes wrong and you need a microchip, I mean, there's a severe shortage. I heard a story the other day. They totaled out a brand new car because they couldn't get parts to fix it, so they just totaled it out. I was like, that is insane to me. But yeah, technology's coming so far, and you think we could fix more of these problems that we're having right now. And I do know, I think it was Samsung is talking about building a microchip manufacturing plant, I believe in South or North Carolina over there. So that will definitely help, but that's probably 2-3 years out at this point.
Yeah, we got a ways for that. And, I mean, it's all sorts of microchip problems we're having. Chip problems in general. I was going to build my son a computer for Christmas.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And the one chip, not the chip, but the
Graphics card?
Graphics card that he wanted, it was either on back order or ridiculously priced.
Yeah, like PS5s.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Knock on wood, we got one of those when they first came out.
Yeah. You beat the bots then. That bought them all up.
Yeah, we somehow, I don't know how. Oh, yes, I do. My wife, me, and her sister were all online trying to buy one at the same time.
There you go.
And whoever got one, that's...
Teamwork makes the dream work.
And it worked. We actually got two, but the one just didn't get paid for because we didn't.
Yeah.
We only needed one.
Yeah.
There's no sense of being stingy. People were charging $1,200, $1,300, $1,400 for them things. It's like, it's a game system for kids. Come on now.
Yeah. I mean, look.
Don't get me wrong. I like to play too, but
yeah.
most people are buying them for their kids. So.
Yep. Between the shortages and then all the crypto miners buying all of them up.
Yep. Oh yeah.
It's definitely a mess. I mean, I haven't even looked into it. I mean, my system, I think I bought it 4 or 5 years ago. Works perfect for what I need. I mean, I haven't got into video editing too hard on this because I really don't edit these videos. I just throw in I adjust the audio and then add an intro and push it off. So
nice and easy.
Yeah, I haven't gotten into it too far yet, but I bought it for when I was doing vinyl and stuff to do graphic design and stuff like that. But yeah, I can't even imagine nowadays some of these.
I lucked out. I ended up buying a used PC. It was a year old. So, I mean, I got it for a used price. Thank God. I took me 2 months to find one that was reasonably priced.
Yep.
Because people are asking brand new prices for used
Oh,
machines that are 3 or 4 years old. I'm like, how can you do that? But it's the same way with cars these days. The used car market right now is ridiculous. I got offered, because we went to Williams. They got a Suburban there. You know, the electronics got my wife all weirded out too. So she's like, well, let's we always look around. It's something you always do.
You never stop.
So
my wife always yells at me.
They have a Suburban there. So we went and we took the Escalade there, and they gave us an appraisal to give us what we paid for the Cadillac. I'm like, I should do it. I should just sell it to them just to get rid of it.
Yeah.
But, I enjoy having it. And unless I'm going to find something that I absolutely have to have, I'm going to keep it.
That's our cousin Ellie. He's looking to buy 2500 right now, and he wants the same color blue that he has in his now. I think his is 2014, but he can't find them within 600 miles, so he's going to build one. And I was like, man, that's going to take forever. He's like, oh, they said 12 weeks. I was like, I think they're lying to you. Yeah, maybe 12 months,
right.
But, I mean...
The way everything's going these days, if they can get it done in 12 weeks, that's impressive.
Yeah, and that's the reason, I mean, I upgraded my truck at the beginning of this year from the 1500 with the Hemi, and then the only difference between that truck and this one is it's got the diesel, and then it's got upgraded audio and stuff like that. Just navigation, all that.
This
fun
one,
stuff.
this one's a 2500 that you got?
No, this one's 15
with the diesel.
Yeah, I mean it's just a little baby 3.0 and baby turbo.
Right. Yeah, no, you're right. You did say it had the eco diesel in it.
But yeah, it's not bad. I mean, I drove to Scranton on Friday to do some Christmas shopping, and I got 31 miles a gallon, which isn't bad.
That's pretty good for a pickup truck. That's real good.
But
my truck don't get.
Yeah.
Of course, me being me, I like to buy something that I like the way it looks. So I ended up buying a tuned, cat deleted.
Oof.
It's a tuned for E85, which of course here in town, the only place I can get E85 is if I drive down to Wysox.
Yep.
And on regular gas, I get about 8 miles to the gallon. Regular drive.
Ooh.
That's not putting my foot in it or anything.
Yeah.
And it's awful. My truck is absolutely awful. We actually just started discussing she wants to downgrade to help save on gas. She wants to get one of the new Transits.
Okay.
With I don't know, I guess you can get up to 11 seats in them.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we don't want one that has 11 seats in it. We don't need 11 seats, but get one with 8 or 9 seats in it. Get rid of the Cadillac. Then I'm going to sell my truck, and I want to buy a 6-door.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
That would be fun. And I've actually found them for pretty decent prices. I found one that was real nice. It was a 2014 Ford diesel. 6-door with the what's the ranch? What the heck are they called?
The King Ranch?
King Ranch, yes. Has a King Ranch interior, full interior.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah, it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. $50,000.
That's not bad at all.
That's what I thought.
Damn.
Like, if I was ready to buy right now, that would be the truck I'd buy.
The last one they were selling in town, I saw, I think it was like 75.
Which one was that? Was that the one that was down?
It was down by the Decatur thing at Beers.
Yep.
Maybe.
Yep. And this one ain't one like that. It's not the real big body.
No.
It's just a stretched F-250 diesel truck. It's a real nice truck.
Yeah.
And I found them. There's actually one online right now I found for $15,000, but it needs a lot of work.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to get into a project. I want to buy a truck
Yeah.
that I can slap my kids in, hook up to the camper, and be able to go.
Yep.
And that's pretty much why we bought the Escalade,
Yeah.
because we got a really good deal on the camper. So I bought the camper. Well, the GVWR on the camper is more than my truck.
Really?
So I can't. Plus, I can't fit everybody in my truck.
Yeah.
I mean, my truck's GVWR is like 74, I think. My camper's 78.
So it's close, but
Yeah, I would still get a big ticket if I got pulled over.
yeah.
So we bought the Escalade, and they're the same. So I'm legit when I'm driving the Escalade. I'm legal. That's the only reason.
Yep. And I think the Ram, the 1500, do about 87, and I think the max on the camper is 67.
Really?
Yeah.
What size is your camper?
It's a 25 foot, but with the tongue and everything, it's about 29 and a half foot.
Yours is a newer camper than mine, though, too.
Yeah, it's a 21.
Oh, yeah. So, I got an older, big old box.
Yeah, see, we were looking, and, Cody, the camper right next to mine, I mean, he got a really good deal on his. I mean, it has some water damage he has to work out and all that, but, I mean, we went and looked at campers, and, I mean, it was like 20 grand, but at the same time, it's got the warranty, and it's nice. We can just, I mean, we didn't get out as much as we wanted to last year. But,
we didn't. I mean, we got out 4 times.
Yeah, I think that's about what we did.
Which isn't bad considering, I got a big family. It's hard.
Everything going on, yeah.
But, I drove it to North Carolina.
Yeah.
I drove it to Virginia. I mean, on the back of the Caddy, it drove great.
I can imagine, especially driving that, the comfort.
Oh, geez,
that Caddy, man.
yeah.
It's like driving a cloud.
It is. It is nice. That's part of the reason I don't want to get rid of it.
Yeah. And that's the only reason I did to get back to that trade in the truck. They gave me almost $10,000 more than what I owed on it. So I was like, well, I'd be stupid not to.
Right, yeah.
And granted, I upgraded to a more expensive truck because that one was about $60,000, which is a lot for fucking 1,500, man. But at the same time, when we were looking for her Jeep, because it's about the same, I think we got about $7,000 over what we owed on the Jeep, and she wanted a Wrangler, and there was none anywhere. And then, of course, I get discounts through work, and lots of dealerships aren't doing any incentives or anything because they're not making money. So we ended up finding one, and we were just like, this is the one, we're buying it. And then now it's winter, and she doesn't have her heated seats she had in the Grand Cherokee. And
Yeah.
it's a mess, but at the same time, payments didn't really go up, and we both got newer vehicles. So at the end of the day, I guess that's all you can really ask for. And,
Right. Yeah.
take the top off during the summer, and it'll be fun.
Oh yeah. Yeah. She'll love it during summer.
Yeah. So let's jump into the mandates. And are you vaccinated?
Absolutely not.
Is the wife, kids?
Absolutely not.
Is the wife super against it, or because I know a lot of people?
Yeah. No, she wants nothing to do with it.
And I'm vaccinated, and if I had kids, I'm not vaccinated against COVID-19. But other vaccines.
Oh yeah, no, same with me.
Yeah.
I'm vaccinated against polio. I'm vaccinated against, whatever your normal.
Yeah, anything.
I mean, the normal all-time vaccines that everybody gets. I have all of them.
Yeah.
But, and I've seen lots of different studies or stories on this, and I don't know what to believe because you can't believe everything on the internet.
Yeah.
And you can't believe everything anybody tells you. But SARS-CoV-19 is new.
Yep. Novel. That's new.
You cannot come out with a vaccine in 9 months.
No.
Absolutely not. There's no way.
Oh.
Now, a true, tried, and tested vaccine cannot come out in 9 months.
No. And they're talking they're not going to release half the studies for 75 years now.
I know it. I seen that the soonest one was going to be 50 years.
Yep.
The soonest legitimate study is going to be 50 years. How many people are going to be dead by then?
Yeah.
I could be wrong saying that, but I'm just...
Yeah. And I try not to walk walk down that road either of conspiracy, because I do believe there's, if it helps you not get super sick, older people get it. I can understand that you have underlying health conditions, but to force us to get the vaccine when there's all the studies and all the talk out there, you're still going to get sick. You can still pass it. People are still dying with the vaccine. I remember it was July. They said that there's no such thing as breakthrough cases now every day. I mean, Elizabeth Warren, senator, she just came down with COVID, and she has the vaccine and the booster.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Brittany had to get vaccinated for work, and it was a really tough discussion to have. Like, we could probably pull it off. You can get a job, make less money, and, we'll have to sell either the Jeep or the truck, get rid of some stuff, and we can do it. But at the end of the day, as much as it sucks, we can't throw away our lives, because then that sucks to say, because it's kind of a cop out at the same time.
Yeah, it is. Because there's a lot of people that really did. They threw away their lives because I guess, I don't know if I'd do it. I don't know if I could do it, with the size family I have. I don't know if I'd be able to do it. But there's a lot of people that said, you know what? I'm not going to choose my livelihood over this job. They'd rather not put themselves in the danger of dying over having that paycheck.
Yeah.
And me and my wife discussed this too, that a lot of people learned how to live more frivolously, I think is the word I'm looking for.
On less money.
On less money when all of this started happening.
Yep.
People were getting laid off. People learned how to live on less.
Yeah.
So, a lot of those people are like, I don't need this job, so why stay here?
Yep.
You're going to mandate it, I'm out. And then there's, I've seen some gas company guys that have been told, you get the vaccine or we're going to fire you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm done. They can get a job elsewhere.
Our work hasn't come out and told us we had to have it, but with the new OSHA guidelines, any employer with over 100 employees, and they did tell us that they're going to comply with it, and they're not paying for the weekly testing, because you can opt out with weekly testing. Now, average cost right now, it'd be about $10,000 a year for testing.
That's insane.
And we already have a surcharge on our insurance for next year, $1,500 if you're not vaccinated. And it doesn't matter that my wife's vaccinated and I'm not.
Right.
I still have to pay $1,500.
That's insane. That's crazy.
But I can deal with $1,500. I make decent money. It's not going to kill me. But $10,000 a year for testing, that's insane.
That is.
And making you choose between your job or getting the vaccine, that I understand it will help people, but I'm not in that group of people.
Right. And we don't even actually know if it's going to help that group of people.
That's true.
How many times are they going to come out and say you need a booster?
Yeah.
I mean, it's been out. The vaccine's been out for how long? Not long.
No.
A year.
Well, last October, I think the last one started coming out, so just over a year now.
Okay, and now we've had 2 boosters since then?
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, to me, that doesn't make any sense.
No.
No sense whatsoever. And they say, you can find everything that's in those vaccines. Most people have no idea what they're reading when they're reading what's in those vaccines.
It's like reading gibberish. I looked at it the other day just to make sure nothing, because I'm allergic to C-chlor and sulfa drugs, so I'm like, I don't even really know what that stuff is. I mean, I know I'm allergic to it, but I wouldn't know what to look for, because it could be in a million different things. And a lot of it's super vague, where you wouldn't know what it is without, talking to a scientist saying, well, how do you make this or whatever like that.
Absolutely.
And it just makes it so hard, and I don't want to be one of those guys like, no, I'm anti anti-vaxxer because that's what they're saying, and that's not what it is. Because I believe in vaccines. Vaccines saved a lot of lives.
Yeah, it's just this new vaccine scares people.
Yeah,
Is the problem. It scares me. I don't know what it's going to do to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it's going to do to my kids.
Yep.
I mean, that some people have said that it could sterilize.
Yeah.
You know, if that sterilizes my kids,
You end your family line right there,
that is the end
man.
of my family line, and I got a big family.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want it stopping.
Yeah. And, you know, and their messaging is so messed up on it because, you know, we all know that you can still get it and pass it when you have the vaccine, but, you know, the NFL, 150 players tested positive, so they had to cancel 3 games this weekend.
Right.
They just came out, they're changing their policy, so they're not testing you if you're fully vaccinated anymore because they're losing out on money.
Yeah. Oh,
that's
yeah.
all it is, money grab.
Yep,
and
that's all
power
it is.
grab.
Yep, power grab. Power grab is the biggest thing that's going on right now.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I got a lot of theories behind all that too. So I don't know if we want to get into all that right now.
Yeah. I think eventually we'll end up getting into it because my neighbor. I know I said that last time on the podcast, and he was like, "Oh, you have a neighbor, huh?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna call you out or anything, but you know, and it's just one of those things. Like, there's so much information out there, and if you're looking for something, you can find it, right or wrong. But at the same time, why are we not allowed to ask questions about this without being called this? If it's science, you should be able to question it.
Follow the science.
Yeah.
And that's what everybody says. Follow the science. We'll give it to us.
Yep. I mean, I'm not a scientist, but I mean, I can read some papers and, you know, figure stuff out for my own.
Make it so the common person can understand what it is.
Yeah. I mean,
and I know some of their terminology, there's no way without schooling and this and that you're going to be able to figure it out. But
definitely.
There's got to be a way that they can tell us what's going on.
Just be honest with us. Otherwise, it just looks like you're trying to, you know, be hyperbolic towards us because, you know, why won't you just tell us what's going on? And it has to be a fight against unvaccinated people. If a vaccinated person can carry it, pass it on, why does it matter that I'm not vaccinated?
Exactly.
Because they're passing it around themselves.
Yep.
So, I mean, that really gets me. And, you know, I've been in New York this past weekend. You know, most of the stores you go into, nobody says anything about masks. The only place I've been at, Panera Bread, and then Sam's Club. The way you like ripped the mask out and threw it at me, and I'm like, okay. And then, you know, you just kind of walk away and whatever, and you get a nod from some people, and, you know, dirty looks once in a while.
Dirty looks all the time. I remember when the vaccine or the mask thing was real big, you know, back in the beginning. And somebody said something to my wife about not wearing a mask because we usually don't wear them ever.
Right.
I mean, they're pointless. I mean, let's be real. The mask is doing absolutely nothing except for making you breathe your own carbon monoxide. That's the only thing it's doing. But she was just like, you got your mask, right? What's it matter if I got one on or not?
Yeah. If you weren't getting close to me to ask me why I don't have a mask on, it wouldn't matter.
It wouldn't have mattered anyway.
I don't want to be around people anyways. It doesn't matter. I'd rather be home by myself. And guess what? I have to come out in the public and do things I need to do.
Yep.
I know both the local schools, you know, no more masks. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah. My kids are ecstatic.
But I can't even, I think I've heard of 5 different kids out now because they had close contacts at school.
Well, here's the thing. The mandate just went off.
Yep.
So these kids that are getting in close contact, they had it before.
Yeah.
Like they had it before the mandate went off. So it's like,
yeah.
And people will fight that. They'll be like, well, yeah, but without the mask, they were getting COVID. No, they would have got the COVID regardless because it was close contact before that. You know, my son, he's actually out of school until after the holidays.
Close contact?
Because close contact.
Yeah.
One of his friends tested positive for COVID.
But the rest of the kids get to go to school.
Yeah. My entire rest of my household.
Yeah.
I couldn't go to school. it makes no sense. Well, we had our daughter. Let's see, when was it? Last school year. She was out for close contact, and she's in the same school.
Yep.
With the little ones.
Yep.
They're all in the Lynch. She had to stay home. The other two could go to school.
Yeah.
Like, what kind of sense does that make?
Yeah.
Like, the home quarantine thing is a joke.
Oh yeah.
Because when you're in your own home, you're not gonna lock your kid in their room.
No.
Absolutely not. I never would, never will.
No.
I don't care if they're super sick, and I'm usually the go-to when they're not feeling good. They come up and they snuggle with Dad.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell them to go away because they're sick.
Yeah. Get away from me. You're sick.
Right. Get out.
I can't even.
No, I would never do that, ever.
Yeah.
Most of the time, and especially with the little one, Jerry, when he's sick, he wants to be snuggled all the time.
Mm-hmm.
That's as a parent, that's what you do.
Yeah.
You don't, go lay down with your blanket.
Yeah.
No.
Go sleep at all.
Right.
By yourself, please.
It's...
And
so
that's
crazy.
the biggest thing. Their science is, it doesn't affect children. So why is there this big push to get all these kids vaccinated now? And, I've seen lots of people online, oh, my kid's getting vaccinated. Adults won't even do it because they're a bunch of pussies or something like that. And it's like...
Well, the kid's only getting vaccinated because you're making them.
Yeah.
The kid would not...
Yeah.
A little kid is not going to say, hey, shove a needle in my arm and put something in there.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. My kids got the flu shot here, I don't know, a couple weeks ago.
So you guys get the flu shot.
I don't.
The kids do, though?
And it's if they want them, they get them.
Yeah. I'm not trying to
Yep.
call you out.
I
I'm
don't,
just wondering. Cause
I don't make them get them. The doctor, I asked them while we were there the other day, and they said yes.
All right.
So, you know what? Go ahead.
Yeah, if you want to, go for it.
Now, the COVID vaccine would be different.
Yeah.
I would step in and say absolutely not.
Yeah.
Because the flu has been around for a long time. The flu vaccine has been around for a long time.
Uh-huh.
I trust it.
Yeah.
I trust the science behind it. COVID, absolutely not.
And I think the thing about the flu is everyone understands that even if you get that shot, there's a chance you're still going to get it. Because the flu, there's new variants of it every year.
Yep.
I mean, that's...
And also with the flu, once you get the flu that year, you usually don't get it again.
Yeah. Same with COVID. I mean...
Well, that's true. I guess that's true because I haven't gotten COVID since I got it last time.
Yeah. and that's the thing. Like, a lot of people aren't even thinking about that. Like, look at these people who've had COVID. They usually don't get it. And if they do get it again, it's nothing.
Right.
I mean, my wife got it. The only symptoms she had was she lost her taste and smell for about 3 days. Other than that, she's fine.
I got it. When I got it, it was a close contact through work.
Yep.
Actually, it wasn't one of our employees. It was another contractor. He wrecked his truck. Needed a ride up on the pad to make a phone call. So just with him being in my truck for 10 minutes, I took him up. About 3 days later, I got a call. My boss said that I was in close contact. Well, I did some digging. I'm like, well, this is, there's only so many people I'm around. So I called him, and he's like, yeah, my girlfriend tested positive. I said, so are you sick? He's like, no, I'm not. Well, then about 4 days later, I started getting sick. And it was the first night. It was weird. It was when it first onset was really weird. Like no sickness I've gotten before. It felt off.
Yeah.
But then for like a week and a half, I had literally just a sinus cold.
Yep.
I lost my smell. I lost my taste. And that was it.
Yeah.
I still went to work because I worked by myself.
Yep.
So I still worked every night.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like knock me out.
Yeah.
I'm done.
And I understand some people do get super sick from it.
Some people do.
But I think part of the problem is they're pushing the vaccines and not pushing, the therapeutics for it. say what you want about ivermectin, monoclonal antibodies, and all that, but the monoclonal antibodies have been shown to help a lot. So it's ivermectin.
Yeah, no, we have a friend that just got that the antibody treatment.
Yep.
She's an anti-vax. She's a homeschool and stay-at-home type person. She caught it at the grocery store. It was the only way that she can figure it, and that's what treatment she went for.
Yep. And places like Florida making that available to anyone who needs it.
Right, and look at what's going on down there.
Yeah.
Florida is amazing.
Yeah. Yep.
Their governor, DeSantis, is amazing.
Yeah, I applied for a transfer probably 3 years ago now, and I didn't get the job, but I just think back now, man, I wish I would have pushed a little bit harder and could have got that job, because that sounds amazing.
My old man moved down there.
Yeah.
I mean, he kind of moved down there.
He's like bouncing in between.
Yeah, he bounces back and forth.
Well, that's him. That's his entire life.
Right, it is. But right now, he's down there, and he sent me a picture the other day. He's outside. It's 80 degrees. He's painting a house. I'm like, you son of a gun.
Yeah. I mean, luckily, the end of last week, 60 degrees.
I know,
The year
it's
before,
crazy.
40 inches of snow.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, I watched her video again.
Yeah.
On Facebook, and then I showed my wife. I'm like, look, remember this? Because she tried to tell me it was a different day. I'm like, no, look, this is when it was.
Yeah.
And we watched your video. I'm like, God, that's just crazy.
The better side of that story is I left the passenger side window down on that truck. So I had 4 foot of snow on the floorboard.
Man.
Yeah.
Oh.
Luckily, it stayed cold enough. It was still frozen, but
Easy to get out. But
yeah,
geez.
I had neighbor's kid. She was helping me clean off the truck. I just lifted her up on top, and she's cleaning it. And then she looked. She's like, "Your window's open." I was like, "Oh fuck." But, yeah, that was good.
Dang.
But yeah, with the vaccine and everything, if you want it, get it. It's not for me, and I will not get it. I'll have to figure out the testing or whatever, because the Sixth Circuit Court just reinstated it, pending further litigation. So they still have to rule on it, but they got rid of the stay, so now it's active again. So I'm sure.
Yeah, my job, basically, they were just like, we're gonna follow the law.
Yeah, that's what ours was too.
So a mandate's not really a law. So we're based out of Oklahoma, so it's a little different down there.
Yeah, we're based out of Texas, so.
Oh, it's even more different down there.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see how it plays out.
Yeah.
That's all we can do is. God, my wife's blowing up my phone.
Oh boy. But yeah, just I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. I guess we got a little. I think they start enforcement on the 14th of January. But anything you gotta take care of?
Oh, I don't know. Let me look.
I don't want to hold you up if there's something going on.
I didn't think anybody'd be bothering me like this.
Oh, she got close contact. She got it.
No, my daughter. She's that's not important. My daughter's complaining that my youngest son touched the elf.
Oh,
the
boy.
elf on the shelf.
Oh no! Now he's having to go into quarantine.
Oh
man, with that whole deal, and everyone's just fighting each other on this mandates and vaccine and where you stand on COVID and stuff like that, and everyone's just fighting each other, not paying attention to other things that are going on.
right. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, and I don't read the news all the time. I do more now than I used to, but you read some of the stuff, and you read something on CNN, and it's like, oh, that doesn't sound bad, and then like the Build Back Better plan that Biden's trying to get passed, and luckily Joe Manchin from West Virginia said, I'm not voting for that.
Right.
You guys are screwed.
A lot of people are not voting for it because it's.
There's good stuff, but there's bad stuff.
There's a lot of real bad stuff in it.
Yeah.
I listen to a podcast that talks. They talk about a lot of political stuff.
Yep.
And they keep up with the everyday currents you know, what's going on, and that's what it is. 2 hours of pretty much everyday currents of what's going on.
I watch a couple of those,
and it's you know, some of the stuff that they read and what's going on and what they're trying to pass, and they're pulling points right out of this, and it's like, how are they trying to pass something like that? You know, I don't even know how to even start. There's so much that's it drives me nuts because I didn't vote for Joe Biden.
Yep.
And I never would have voted for Joe Biden. The guy's too old to be in office, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, he can't make a full sentence most of the time.
Yeah.
And I mean, his approval rating is what, like 20% right now?
I think it was 32 the other day.
And that's, you know, who knows how accurate that is.
Yeah.
Most people I know, their approval rating is right out the door if they had any before at all.
Yeah.
You know, so and most of the stuff that's in that isn't even from him.
Yeah.
It's Pelosi.
Yeah.
And she's a snake.
Yeah. And that's the thing. These politicians, they have to get their special interest stuff in. Like,
oh, yeah.
The one, it was something about Nike paid a politician, like $16,000. Then, like, you know, 2 months later, they passed legislation to ease sanctions on China or something like that. And it's like, you know, they're there for us, and I think they forget that.
Oh, yeah.
You know, we're the ones who put them there.
Yep.
And obviously, I didn't vote for Biden either because he had so much going against. But, you know, at the same time, I'm not one of these guys who's like, you know, Trump's the answer to everything.
Trump isn't the answer to everything, but that man did real good for this country.
Yeah. He did make some mistakes. He should have fired a lot more people.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I agree with you 100%.
That's the one thing he was good at. He should have done it.
Yep. Oh, yeah. I mean, he's famous for the, you're fired. Where was it through the whole time? You know, I believe he should have went through and there was talk of clean the swamp. The swamp. It didn't really happen.
Yep. He had bad people advising him.
Yep.
And I think he got in over his head. He didn't realize how bad everything was either.
Yeah.
I mean, I can agree, you know, America isn't a business, but at the same time, the way we've been trying to do it hasn't been working, so we got to change something.
Running it like a business was working.
Yeah.
I mean, we were doing real good.
Yeah, you know how many people in 2019, they're like, this is the best year I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
It was the most money I'd ever made. I can tell you that.
Gas was down. It was, I mean, you were, especially if you'd been in a stable job for a long time, you were doing the best you'd been doing that year.
Yeah.
Absolutely, by far. I'm going to vote for him if he runs in 2024. Best believe it. And I hope he brings back that business aspect to the country because it seemed to be working for us.
I mean, a lot of policies that Biden came in with executive order and reversed, you know, stay Mexico policy, all that stuff really helped us. And I can understand that we need immigration as a country, but the way they're doing it right now isn't working.
No, it's not.
I mean, they're flying kids in the middle of the night.
Right. What is that all about?
If someone would have told you 2 years ago they're going to be flying migrants into random states in the middle of the night, you would have been like, you're fucking crazy.
Right.
This is news on CNN nowadays.
Yeah, I know. And then giving families $450,000.
Oh, he walked that back.
Kids.
He realized how dumb that was, or he got what he needed out of it. But yeah, he walked that back finally.
Did he? I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
I've been disconnected for a couple weeks, so
yeah,
it's
they walked that back, and he walked back something else too that was pretty major to what he said he was going to do, and he was like, oh, well, we're not going to do that now, or however. I'm sure we can understand what he said, but I'm sure someone translated it.
Yeah, I was going to say somebody translated his gibberish for us.
Yeah, and I don't know. I don't like to be one of those guys who's, you know, Trump isn't the best person, but he was a good start to what needs to happen.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And right now, there's so much bad against him. I'd honestly like to see Ron DeSantis run.
Yeah,
I think he'd
DeSantis
be a
would
good
be a
pick.
good too. Ted Cruz too.
Yeah.
Ted Cruz would be great, and didn't he run?
Yeah. I think he was in the primaries, but he got primaried by Trump, I believe.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ted Cruz is. He's a hell of a.
Well, I actually heard Hillary's going to run next year. The Democrats are going to try to run her again. Because she was on some, she was doing some speaking event, and she read what her acceptance speech would have been if she won.
I did. I heard that.
And I was like, give me a break.
There's
Her and Fauci, I don't know who loves being on camera more.
Oh, right. Oh, no, I'm right there with you. There's I can't remember his name now. Jeez. I should have looked it up because I knew it was going to come up. But there's a independent contractor going around to get pushing audits for all these voting machines. I'll remember it when I leave here. His name, but yeah, he's doing it on his own, going around and pushing audits for all of these voting machines, just to more or less get the fraud out of it. I mean, it's not going to fix anything now.
Yeah.
We're too far into the.
Yeah.
Like they're not going to just be overturn.
Yeah.
Joe Biden now. It's not going to happen, unless something.
Major comes out, yeah.
Major comes out. But he's pushing to get all these audits done. And personally, I think we all need to show up at the voter ballot the day of voting, fill in our freaking form, and put it in the machine.
Yep.
No more of this mail-in shit.
Yeah.
Period.
Changing the rules last minute.
Yeah, no, that's... I was totally against it and will always be totally against it. I mean, if you're too sick to go vote, that sucks. I mean, I'm sorry. That sucks.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure we could come up with a better system for that even.
You're probably right. But the fact that you don't need an ID to go vote and you can mail in vote, that blows my mind.
But you go to New York City, you need your vaccination card and your ID to get in to eat.
Right, to sit down at a damn restaurant.
I mean, I remember when they're, Black, Latino, they can't get an ID because they don't know how to use a computer and this. And, like, I know a lot of the people I talk to, they're like, he says he's for us, and then he goes out and says stuff like that on national TV. These people feel like they've been swindled.
Oh, yeah.
And just for YouTube community guidelines, Joe Biden did win the election.
He did.
He is our president. And I believe there's problems with the voting system.
Yeah, there definitely is.
But, you can go down that rabbit hole all day long.
Oh, yeah.
I've been there, watched a lot of stuff.
Yeah, we can be down that road. We could do a week-long podcast on just that road.
Yeah. But at the same time, why not audit everything? If there's no problems, why not audit? And then it's always, they vilify these people for wanting an audit. I mean, that's America. You trust what you verify, always.
Right.
Someone doesn't hook up your camper for you and you're like, oh, yeah, it's good. No, you go back there and
Absolutely.
check it.
If I'm not hooking it up personally, I don't trust it.
Exactly.
I mean, because I've seen how some people drive down the road with their campers, and that scares the shit out of me.
And just imagine that as a country. I mean, that's not good.
No, but that's kind of how it is.
Yeah. You've seen how people, yeah. Take a look at some of the stuff they're passing. You're like, oh, man, we're in trouble.
Yeah, we are.
And on the same lines that, social media, it's such a hard place. You post something and everyone attacks you, like, right away. And I know I've been guilty of it before with the Rittenhouse stuff when that came out. And I started going after people that were just posting stuff they have obviously didn't hear anything about it.
All right.
Should there have been a 17-year-old kid out there? No, probably not. But at the same time, nobody should have been there. And he did what he had to do. And the fact that he had that amount of gun control at 17, and
Right.
he said in interviews he never really held a gun or anything much before that. He went shooting twice.
Really?
Yeah. Can you imagine? Would you handle yourself like that in that situation?
No.
No.
I probably would have just been spraying.
Yeah.
I mean, he defended himself.
Yep.
I mean, every video that I seen, every which way they showed it, it shows him getting attacked and him defending himself.
Yep.
That's every. I see nothing different.
Yep.
But I'm also a gun carrier, so
Yep. I've had my concealed carry since I turned 21.
so I don't conceal carry.
No?
Nope.
Do you have your
Oh.
permit? Or no?
No.
Okay.
My guns are registered,
Yeah.
but I don't have a concealed carry permit.
Okay. I
Nope.
thought Katrina said
No, she does.
she does. Okay.
I do not.
Well, I guess it makes more sense for her because, I mean, she's a small girl. I can only imagine.
You're right.
Big old Glock hanging off her side or something like that.
Nope. I openly carry, and I openly carry everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, unless schools and hospitals and such, I do not.
My concealed carry is mainly for the truck because that's where I usually have it, especially if I'm going camping or something. Like some of the more, because nowadays you never know.
You absolutely don't. And that's, my wife said something the other day. She's like, why do you carry your gun all the time? You never know what can happen. I mean, the world's getting crazier and crazier by the day. You never know what can happen.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I feel comfortable. If I have it, I know I can control the situation.
Yep. And you never want to pull it, but you know.
No, absolutely not. I won't unless I absolutely have to.
Yeah. It's the last resort. And,
Yeah, if I feel my life's in line, then I'll pull it. Other than that,
And you obviously understand there's a responsibility there. You know, if you have that on you, you know you don't pull it, and it's not to scare people away.
nope, it's not. It's
If you pull it, you better be ready to pull that trigger.
right. That's absolutely. That's part of the responsibility of carrying a gun. Period. And I'm all about gun safety. All my kids, they handle all of our guns.
Yep. I think that's the biggest thing. Because you see these, where a 5-year-old shoots 3-year-old brother or whatever. Well, that's probably because he's never seen that gun, or every time he sees it, you're like, no, you're not allowed to see it. If they know what it is and know what it's capable of, they're more apt to say no.
Yep.
Well, obviously, kids sometimes don't make the best decisions, but at the same time, if you never give them any kind of info on it.
Yep. Yeah, I'm not worried about any of my kids monkeying with the guns unless Dad's around.
Yep.
And now my 2-year-old,
Well,
he's infatuated. He wants to play with the boom booms all the time until he hears them.
yeah.
He is scared to death of the boom.
That's the way the neighbor's kid is, too.
My neighbor, every time he's out shooting and Jerry hears it, he's freaking out. He's scared crapless. So I might have to cut out here shortly.
That's fine.
Now my oldest is messaging me, and he's watching the 2-year-old. So
Oh, boy. Yeah, I think the only other thing I want to touch on is kids and social media nowadays. I'm sure your kids... Do your kids have social media accounts?
they
or
all
watch
have-
TikTok?
TikTok nonstop. All of my kids are freaking addicted to TikTok.
I mean, I've been there. I mean, I get sucked into TikTok.
I do too.
Yeah.
I absolutely. My wife does it. We all do it, and I see how it happens.
Yeah.
Your For You page has so much good shit on it, but then there's some stuff on there that. But like, I'm glad my kids' For You page, I've watched them, are totally different than mine.
Yeah.
Because I got some shit on mine.
Yep.
And my kids is mostly just,
Some stupid
silly
dance
slime or
something.
the dances or this and that. And, it's good. They do learn a lot
Oh, yeah.
because it's there and they see it over and over. So they learn a lot. But then again, like this whole thing with last week, the shooting up your school day.
Yeah.
What idiot came up with that?
Yeah. And where their parents watch it. It's like the last school shooting where the mom knew he was looking for ammo at school the day before, and the mom knew, and she never said anything. So I think some of the responsibility lies with the parents to know what your kids are watching.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I agree.
And I think a lot of it is a lot of parents don't have own communication with their kids. Like I'm sure you guys do.
Oh man, we are so open with our kids about everything.
Yeah.
There's, not really secrets in our house much at all.
Yeah.
We talk to our kids like they're adults.
Yep.
We don't treat them any different than a human being.
Yep.
Which is what everybody should do, but they don't.
Oh, exactly.
People look at kids as kids. Oh, they don't know nothing, this and that. Well,
they're not going to know anything if you don't talk to
them. Right. My kids have friends that. My 9-year-old daughter has a friend that she's been friends with her for a while. Well, her mentality level is on the same level as my 6-year-old.
Yeah.
And this girl's 10.
It's insane to watch that because me, Kyle, and Cody, we all help. Well, obviously, Aaliyah's Cody's kid, but me and Kyle help raise her. And just looking at how advanced she is compared to kids her age, it's like, she knows how to follow directions and stuff. A lot of these kids nowadays just don't care.
Yeah, no, they don't. And my kids are all, now my, one after another. Now my oldest daughter's yelling at me. My kids are very responsible.
Yeah.
I mean, and I firmly believe it's the way we've treated them. We don't hide anything from them. They've gone through deaths, family deaths, and we don't sugarcoat it.
Right.
We tell them exactly what happened. This is why, and this is what you should not do.
Right.
And well, drugs, alcohol. I mean, me and my wife drink.
Yeah.
And kids know we drink. We don't get shit-faced,
Yeah.
It's not like we're walking around the house all the time fucking slammered. But we like to have beers.
Yeah.
We're both adults, and why not?
Yeah.
And
that means kids, you have to have a drink every now
and
then.
Joking. Keeps me sane.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's with the kids. Social media, it's good for them and it's bad.
Yeah.
I mean,
just like anything in life.
Yeah, just like anything else. My kids, the first bad incident we had with TikTok was found, and this was back when TikTok first came out. My oldest daughter made a video and she's flipping off the camera.
Oh, boy.
And of course, my sister's, or my wife's sister is the first one to see it. And she's kind of iffy as it is.
Yeah.
She was the first one to see it, and she tells us this, and we're like, oh. So she got in trouble for that, and she got grounded from TikTok for a couple of weeks, but now they just make dance videos.
Yeah.
That's to my kids, TikTok is dance videos.
Yeah. And I think that's it. If they don't have parents at home, especially two parents, whether it be a mom and a dad or two dads, two moms, whatever. Right. If they don't have that at home, they're going to see this stuff and be like, oh, this is okay. And, make a threat to my school.
Yeah, no, that's awful.
Especially, as far as I know, nobody actually followed through with it. I know there was kids arrested for it.
Yeah, I didn't hear of anything happening with it either. Like I said, I've been kind of out of touch.
Yeah.
As far as news-wise for a couple weeks, but as far as I know, I haven't heard anything either.
It was rough once I saw all the local schools start putting out things about it.
I'm getting them on Facebook,
crap.
the parental advisories. I'm like, what's going on? And then my son, the night before or 2 nights before, he comes in. He's like, did you see that TikTok thing going on? He's like, it's a joke.
Yeah, and that's it. Some kids just don't know the difference.
Right, yeah.
I mean, we have horrible sense of the humor sometimes as adults.
Oh yeah.
But, we know it better because we've had those life experiences, and I'm sure your kids would be better able to decipher, this is wrong.
Yeah.
Than someone who, maybe only sees their parents an hour a night or something. They're home alone the rest of the time, hanging out with bad crowd.
Right, getting drug into the bad crowd.
Yeah, and it's easy to do nowadays, and it's just people need to pay attention to what's going on. I think that's another thing the pandemic did was, when your kids were on Zoom calls and you heard some of the stuff the teachers were saying to the kids, you're like, wait a minute.
Oh, yeah.
Because, I mean, the school board got completely overturned this past school board election with people who actually wanted to know what was going on. So a bunch of old people who don't even have kids in the school system anymore.
Excuse me.
So, but, yeah.
Yeah, I better probably wrap it up. Now I'm getting yelled at by 2 kids.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate you coming. And like I think the biggest thing is everyone needs to be able to have a conversation nowadays. And me and you agree on a lot. But at the same time, it's still good to have conversations because, I mean, we definitely don't talk that much, especially being family. I mean, and that's just, the pandemic's done that too. But anyways, just everyone, if this video helps one person, just go up and talk to someone who has different views than you or someone you haven't talked to in a long time, man. Just do it because it's a good conversation. I mean, I don't know how long we've been talking, but I'm sure it's been,
let's see, what is it, 7 o'clock? I've been here since a little after 5:30.
Yeah, so yeah.
And time went quick.
Yeah, you don't even think about it. So
that's why I'm getting yelled at, because I was like, oh, I'll only be down on the podcast for about an hour or so. Here it is, an hour and a half later. Kids are yelling at me. But yeah, I'll be glad to come back and do it again anytime.
But yeah, anyone's welcome to come on. Just shoot me a message, any of that. Like, share, and subscribe if you feel so inclined. And thank you. And we'll be coming at you another one maybe later this week. Thanks, guys.